everybody, this is Chris from Stylharmony. Thank you for joining me. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make these cute little cards for men for any occasion, but I thought that since a Father's Day is coming soon, that would be the occasion, but it can be for retirement, just a thank you card, get well soon card, any occasion, and they're really simple to do. Few tricks to avoid and few tips I'm going to share with you as well. So you've got different times here, different colors. You can go for any kind of color you wish. That's the nice thing. And the measurements also, you can adapt it to what you like. And one thing I just wanted to start by saying is that you don't even have to put a background here because it's, you know, these cards are A2 size cards. So they're standard cards. And because your shirt here is going to take the big part of your card, you don't really have to put a background here because you won't see it that much. For example, here I don't have any background. I don't think it's missing, so I used manila card. It's Nina cardstock, but you can choose white if you prefer, but I thought that with the brown it would match really nicely. So with the little tie here, it's really simple to do, and I'm going to show you. So what you will need here is some paper. So you will need one paper for the shirt, one paper that would probably be different for the tie, and if you want another color for your background. You will need a ruler, a pencil, some scissors or your cutting tool, and yes, you will need some glue dots, or you can use hot glue, and I think it's it. And yes, maybe for the trick I'm going to show you the tips. A marker, the color of your shirt, or an ink pad. I'm going to show you why in a minute. So to make the shirt, what you will need here is a piece of paper that is 4 inch by 5.5 from top to bottom. 4 by 5.5. Okay? If you want to make your shirt a little bit smaller, you can always go for 3.5, 3 3/4. You don't have to put 4 or even 5. You can adjust this. I'm just showing you the basics here. Okay, so then what you're going to do is that you're going to score. I have a scoring line here. You probably see it better there at 5/8 from the top. If you want to make your collar bigger, larger, make this piece a little larger as well. So you see, you can really adapt it to your own taste, but I still want to give you a base. So 5/8 from the top, you make a scoring mark here, and then what we're going to do, and I'm going to use the back of my paper, and I'm going to make 2 marks here, and I'm going to score here. I'm going to use this in inches. You're going to put a mark here and a mark here, and we're going to cut here 2 slits at 1 inch on either side of your card. And honestly, this folding line is not really, you don't really need to make it. It's just to help you and see the middle. You'll watch this in a second, you'll understand. Okay? Okay, so I made these 2 slits, right? Now what you need to do, and you can slightly put a little dot of your pencil here. You're going to choose the middle of here, so it would be 2 inches, the middle of your card, just where your scoring line is. So you're probably, yes, I think you see it. I've put the middle here. That's going to be useful in a second. So one thing here before I do anything, if you're using, like me, a paper that is one-sided printed like this, if you do this, what we're supposed to do for the color is going to be white. If you have a double-sided paper, well, you'll have the other piece showing. So if you want to have this, there's nothing more to do. If you want to have your color the same color as your shirt, what I have done, because I had this spare piece of paper when I cut it down, I cut this slit here 5/8 of an inch, and you're going to glue it here. So I'm going to do it with you. And really glue it well down, specifically here on the sides, because that's what is going to show up. So I'm trying to align it as perfectly as I can. So now when I'm going to fold here my color, I will have the color here that will be the same color as my shirt. So here we did this little pointy bit here. So you're going to join your angle here, this piece, and you're going to fold it here. Did I cut 1 inch? Let me see. I didn't cut maybe 1 inch. I need to go back and cut it. So I think it's good. So you're going to fold, yeah, that's good. You're going to fold here, join that corner here to your point there, where your folding is, your crease is, okay? And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, your little point here was on the scoring line, and this is where you're going to fold, all right? So this is what you're having at this point. And your shirt now is ready. Okay, so we're going to leave this aside. And why I was talking about this ink or the marker is because in case you didn't align very well your piece of paper, you can usually or trim the little piece off or use a little bit of your ink so that the white paper, if there's a little bit of white, maybe you can see it here, you can always use your ink if it's really matching and color it up so nobody's going to notice anything. Okay, so this might be very handy for you. Just in case you didn't line it very well, there will be no white showing. And again, a marker will do the same thing if it's just matching the right color. And at this point, you can take this little marking here there away. Okay, good. Now we're going to take care of the tie. So the size of the paper you will need for the tie is 4 by 4 inches. This one is not cut perfectly. I'm going to use this one. It's 4 by 4 inches. And for the tie, I would recommend using a paper that is not too thick because we're going to do quite a lot of folding. So if it's too thick, you're going to end up with something, you know, it's going to be hard to fold. So I'm going to get a little closer here. I'm going to take rid of this to be more comfortable working. So, and there are other videos on YouTube showing how to do this, but I have my preferences. So here, what I want to do is to put my paper the right side down, okay? Right side down, and then I am not going to fold yet. I'm just going to not measure, but I'm going to make a marking here, going from one angle here, one corner to the other. Okay? And I'm just doing a slight, it doesn't have to be very visible. And this is going to be helpful for me for my folding. But if I had to fold now, I would have a mark here on the front side, and I don't want that because ties don't have a fold at this place. Okay, so that's important. One other trick I wanted to tell you, I forgot, so I want to tell it to you now. If you have a pattern paper that has words or phrases or design like this one that you want to see the right, you know, position the right way, you need to put your paper. It's really handy if you do that first. Before cutting, like here I've got some writings, even though it doesn't mean anything. If I want to make sure and not make any mistake that this is going to face this way, I need to cut first at 4 inches. I remember I said 4 inches by 5 1/4. So cut first your width so you know that your paper is going to go this way and your color this way, because sometimes if you cut the long piece first, you might put it the right way and then you're going to have your writing this way. Okay, so first cut the width and then the length. It was much easier for me because I got mixed up sometimes. Alright, if you have this kind of pattern, you don't really care, it's not important. But on this one, it is because I've got some writings. On this one, it is because I've got some nice patterns here. And on this one too, because I've got these air balloons. I love these papers. They're so nice. And they're all single-sided paper.